All right, here we go. Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the penalty game with Rev Kimbrough. I'm here at Bocelli's, and I am with Kimmy. How are you?
I am great. How are you?
I'm fabulous now that you're here on my
Oh,
show.
you say all the right things.
It was such a
I don't think
honor.
you need dating coaching. I have a feeling you don't need that.
No, I don't need. I don't. Wait a minute. We got to do that all over. I forgot to start my sound. Okay.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Pod Brother Show right here at Bocelli's. We got Jeff in the background, tinkling the ivories. I got my Ref Kimbrough jersey on, and I'm here with the lovely, the beautiful, the talented Kimmy. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here. I mean, you just upgraded the value of the establishment.
That I look at you everywhere. You know this.
The real estate confidence plate just went up when you walked in.
Oh my God. See, so you can help me teach my first workshop.
I could.
Absolutely. I may recruit you.
I am totally down with that. I would love to do a stand-up comedy workshop as a single mixer. I can come in and teach everybody how to write comedy, how to observe material, and develop it into a technique and comedy paradigm and perform it. Everybody gets a minute to try out a new joke they wrote. They can help each other write jokes for each other.
I love that.
And then we can take everybody to a comedy club. They get on stage and they do their little 2-minute sets. And afterwards, we hook up for some dates.
Oh my, you make it sound so easy.
That's because it is. It's
Because
me.
it is. It really is that easy. Well, it's funny because at these dating retreats that I do a lot of improv with them because one of the challenges that you have, especially when people are doing real life, is that everything's so serious.
Right.
And it's so hard to be in the fray and laugh, but that's actually the most attractive thing. Like, there were studies done that said the most attractive traits that both men and women found in each other, it had to do with playfulness and just being in there, like, kind of fun. Yet, I'd say 80% of the people I work with, they find that so challenging.
Right.
So I love that. I come do a workshop for sure.
Yeah, no, I would love to. What I have found is I learned the value of a good sense of humor in comedy early. Growing up in an environment that was a little bit challenging, I found to be able to have the command over comedy and humor to diffuse a lot of the tension you might find yourself in is extremely effective. And the same thing, you can use comedy to get yourself into situations you're trying to get into, and that works out too. So, if you know how to use and utilize some of the tricks and trades and secrets of humor, it can go a long way.
Well, and I think you said it really well because you have to know how to use it because, and this is just me being a therapist for all these years, a lot of times humor can be used to deflect things that maybe you don't want to share about yourself. It's also a way of, kind of keeping people at a distance sometimes. So it does you have to be careful sometimes with humor.
Sure.
It's an interesting thing. I love that we're doing a podcast on this.
Yeah, I mean, but it doesn't matter how you use it. You still have to come from a credible place
Yes.
when you use humor, even if you're
It's
deflecting.
authentic.
Yeah, you're deflecting something that's real inside that you don't want people to know about. Or you're trying to diffuse, or you're trying to. You want to communicate, but what's the soft landing on getting this point? That I'll make a joke. Let me show that it's light and nothing to be serious about, but yet we got to get to the real issue.
Yeah, and I think the realness and that authenticity that comes from when you're telling a joke or when you're being playful is the most crucial thing because people will come to me and I kid you not, like, can you just give me a couple lines to say, can you give me a couple lines that'll make like a woman laugh, and my answer is always no. Because we smell that. Like, we smell lines. We smell when you're, like, memorizing things. So I always tell people, like, even if it's not funny, just if you buy into it and you, like, own it, it's gonna be great. Even if it isn't funny, people love when you're real.
That's where the credibility of the material comes in. So when I teach my workshop,
Yeah.
I'm like, we have to believe, even if we suspend disbelief, And even if you take it to the extreme ridiculous, we still need to see the original actual credibility, the fact that that happened to you. Or I can believe you're thinking that.
Yeah.
So even if you've never done it before and you're talking about something that you want to do or afraid of doing, I need to believe what you're thinking is true to you. And then I can laugh at you or with you or about you or about them, whatever the thing is. But if I don't believe you,
Yeah, if I don't
there's no
buy it,
credibility. I'm not, my imagination is shut down, and I'm not able to find the funny in what you're trying to do because I don't believe you even think that way. I don't believe you even did that. I don't even believe that you want to do that.
That's really interesting. I never thought of it that way, but you're right. And I think with that, the belief also comes from the words you choose as you're conveying the joke. So I teach a lot of emotional intelligence. People tell stories. Storytelling actually is a big part of coaching that I do because a lot of times people have a hard time figuring out what to say on dates or the conversation. They will memorize a bunch of facts. But like with comedy, with stories, the belief has to do with when you're tapping into emotion. Mm-hmm. And so when you're telling a story, you're telling a joke, and you feel the person, that's when it lands.
Right. But then it also, the cool thing about it is contagious.
Oh yeah.
The other person's going to do one of two things. All right. It's either going to be a sense of humor volley. I say something funny, and then you say something funny on top of it, and then I layer, and then it's kind of this humor volley back and forth is one scenario. The other scenario is you're just laughing your butt off, and I'm just feeding you more. I'm serving, and you're just laughing. It's a one-way tennis match. Me serving lines, and you cracking up. And either way, it can be a lot of fun.
Yes.
Either way. Because when you get somebody in a laughing frenzy, you can't help but to feed into that. And there's something that happens when you get someone or a crowd, things just come to you to keep it going. Your improvisational floodgates open out of nowhere, and you just come up with stuff to keep that laugh going. Even if it's a one-on-one or a dating situation or an audience, it's just magic. And I can't explain why and how that happens, but when it does, it's amazing.
I try to break it down for people because you're right. Like a lot of times people come back on a date and they're like, all right, well, that just felt like an interview. I hear that all the time. Or it's a Q&A session. It's like question, answer, question, answer, and it's so disconnected. You don't feel any attraction. During that time to learn that flow. It's magical. Like you really can feel attracted to that person. And again, I think it has to do with not just the energy, but there's body language also that goes into it. There is the emotion that goes into it. And when you're talking about one thing, it spurs a memory to somebody else that'll create the story or the joke. So I think that's part of it's a dance.
It is, and it's a delicate dance.
Oh yeah.
Because there's a rhythm that you're on, and all dancing revolves around some kind of rhythm and format, some kind of rhythm and paradigm. And if you are off one beat, everything comes to a screeching halt.
That's where the record stops.
Scratch the record. Who scratched the record?
Those are those odd conversations where like, and it's or like staccato, like it is music, right? Like you'll hear like question, answer, and it feels like that total staccato. Or someone's just going da 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 da, and they're talking da 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 da, and then there's no like back.
Yeah.
It is melodic.
Yeah, I mean, I have used humor in every single dating scenario.
Have you?
In the beginning, the pre, the middle, and the end, even the exit strategy.
Oh my God, I want to hear about this. Okay, you opened the floodgates. Let's talk about that.
It's like, okay, I was married and divorced. One of the reasons I got divorced is because my ex-wife at the time didn't want me to do stand-up comedy. And so, and the thing is, she was the one who actually pushed me to do stand-up in the first place. Because I didn't think I was, and you know what's funny? I had a good sense of humor, I was quick, I was a sales guy, marketing. So, you gotta have that tongue if you're gonna sell stuff. And I used humor to close my deals. And she was like, you're closing these deals, you're the top sales guy, and you would be funny as a stand-up. These guys on TV aren't that funny, but you could do that. So she secretly set up an open mic for me. I mean, one thing led to another. I was getting good, I was getting paid, and she was like, you know what, I don't want to be married to a comedian, that's a whole other story, I don't know why, we can analyze that. But it got to the point to where I was like, okay, I'm going to try to do some peace. So I stopped doing comedy. But then everything I love, the relationship died, all my passions died. I felt the one thing I was put here on earth to do, I was denied doing, to try to make peace. And so I got to the point to where I was just numb inside, dead inside. And then finally, I just like, you know what, this is something that I have to do. So I'm going to go put my 2 weeks notice. And so she said, look, if you put your 2 weeks notice in and you quit your job to do comedy, I'm leaving. And I kind of looked at her and I was just like, try to call Amari, I'm here all week.
Oh, wow.
I'm here 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday. See you on Sunday. Try to call Amari 2 for 1 happy hours on Wednesdays.
I'll give you a deal.
But there, even in the exit strategy in relationships, sometimes when you realize that okay, it truly is, and why should you burn the emotion and the love and the investment you put into another person just because you got to a point where it didn't work out? I mean, it's like I got 320,000 miles out of my 99 Jeep. Am I going to burn it now? Am I going to take it to a field and light it on fire simply because it's not working for me anymore? Why would I do that? I'm just going to sell it, trade it in, and I'll be like, hugs, love, kiss, peace, hope you find a nice place, or, somebody who can bring you back to life and, is a classic Jeep car guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna burn it. I'm not gonna torch it. It's like, yeah, transmission went out and left me like high and dry. It cost me money, but still, we was in a relationship.
Yeah. It served a purpose.
I love that Jeep.
Yeah.
So when things go bad and the front end is off and the engine goes and the transmission and the brakes and the this and that, it's like I'm not just gonna drive off a cliff. So I kind of looked at my divorce kind of like that. It's like I have to do comedy. You want the white picket fence and a 9-to-5er, so let's just divide it up, split it up, hug and kiss, maybe get one on the way out.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
You make it sound so easy.
One for good old, one for the old times.
Right here. How long ago was that?
I got divorced in 88.
Oh yeah, it's been a minute. Yeah. And so are you back out there dating? I
got the feelers and the tentacles out. I'm too busy with all this to really be serious about dating. But I'm out doing stuff in the shows and drive-ins and comedy. And I'll keep my eyes open, but I'm making no promises. But I'm just me, doing me.
It's important. It's important to know where you're at, what you want, because that's exactly what you're going to attract.
Right.
And I was talking to a client, a prospective client today, and he just came out of a divorce, and he never dated. He just quintessential relationship guy. Right? So even in his formative years, he just never dated, and so now he's in his 50s out there.